Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Subcommittee, for allowing me to pop in just for a quick, just share what's on my heart. First of all, I come from a 25-year policing background. First 10 years, law, boy in blue, cops and robbers, thoroughly enjoyed it. And then in the last 15 years of my career, moved to Roskilde and started working with young gang members. And the work we did was obviously revolutionary. That's why I got my QSM, and that's why all the accolades came with the work that was groundbreaking at the time. So I have absolutely no qualms with prevention. However, what I'm going to share with you comes from grassroots level and my experience as a police officer working with gang members. So first of all, I am not in favour of changing the law as it stands. I totally understand why it was implemented. I actually left the police in 2007, 3 years before this law came in. I can guarantee you, though, things would have been very different back in my day had this law already been in place. One of the things that I realised about criminals is they're very, very clever. And so when you start putting these restrictions in place, they play by the rules, and they're very, very careful about where they put their foot. The difficulty I have is the fact that people are saying this law isn't working, as in reforming. It was never designed to reform a prisoner. By the time our 25 people, I think it was at the moment, that have got to strike three, had actually got to strike three, they'd already been to the court 75 different times on different offending. So time for reform was long gone for those young people and old people. They weren't interested in reform. They'd chosen their way. And this particular law was put in place to protect the members of the public who are just victims to these people. They don't see them as people to worry about or care about. They don't care about police. They don't care about the justice. They don't care about judges. They have chosen their way of life, and they're going to do what they want to do to get their whatever they want. So that law, first of all, was designed to take people out of the equation and to give members of the public a break, especially the victims. So many victims that I dealt with who their lives were devastated. And even years after people have served their sentence for offending against these victims are still victims. They're still hurting. They're still having sleepless nights. They're still scared to go out at night. So I think it's important that we realise the job of the subcommittee and the job of the parliament is to keep all our citizens safe. This is one law, only one law, that actually does that when it comes to hard recidivist offenders. I've spoken to police officers over the years who say it's the best thing since sliced bread. We were toothless up until this point, and now the criminals have to take this into account when they're planning their jobs, when they're doing their drug deals, when they're doing all their bits and pieces. In fact, they even know that they get other criminals to do their third strike because they're so aware of what this law is going to mean for them if they actually get caught. So if you're wondering from the grassroots level, is it effective? It really is. Criminals know it, cops know it. It's really just up to Parliament to realise that, yeah, it costs $2.7 billion, has since 2010, but that's the cost for people to feel safe in this country. And if we need to get more money to keep it up, well, there's other laws you could change to save money. So I share this with you only because I feel it's important to talk on behalf of many New Zealanders who are not going to have an opportunity to say anything. And I just want to make it very, very clear that many, many people are against seeing this law change because we see it as an effective way of stopping those recidivist offenders from going back and offending again in their timeout. Even though judges are bound by that last decision, that last sentence, even judges need sometimes to be encouraged to do what is right as opposed to what appears to be fair. And that's my submission, team.